Hey friends, this is Life Coach Rich. This is another chapter in the book about George C. Marshall. Just want to go through just a couple of things in this chapter, just as a great story here and a couple of great quotes, stuff for you to think about. And it's about selflessness. And so is self-promotion, selflessness compared to self-promotion? Is self-promotion a flaw? Is self-promotion that you're just really interested in your own interests and benefits instead of the company that you work for or the organization, in his case, the country, the United States, because that was in World War II. So this was early in 1942. Marshall encountered General Hugh Drum. With America now at war, Marshall had the task of assigning generals to various theaters of war around the world, because he was a 5-star general over all of the armies. Drum was asked by the Secretary of War, Statesman, to serve in China. Drum declined, fearing that he would be lost in a minor effort of little decisive consequence. And that was what is sort of his reply. When Marshall learned of Drum's response, he was outraged that a senior officer in a time of war would oppose the request of his civilian superior. He called Drum into his office for a heated discussion. Drum sealed his fate by telling Marshall that he felt that he would be more valuable to the country with a mission involving larger responsibilities. And Marshall knew what he was talking about. Most likely he was eyeing the highly coveted position in the European theater, not just in China. Marshall knew that Drum was more concerned with his personal well-being than the nation's, and he pulled his name from consideration. Even after Drum reconsidered his decision and begged to be sent to China, Marshall refused, feeling that the selfishness that he had displayed earlier was a serious character flaw, which would likely manifest itself in ways detrimental to the interests of the Army, its soldiers, and the nation as a whole. Wow. Not sure what happened to General Drum after that, but that is an insightful story related to when we're only concerned about self-promotion. I think that's a character flaw. We have to balance the being social in a company that you're working for, not social to the point that you're just trying to get friends and buddies so that they can try to help you promote. So that's just kind of kissing up to them. And that's never good. You're kind of being fake and not genuine, and people start to see that. And so when that just shows your own selfishness, you're just concerned really not about the interests of the whole company or the organization you're working for. You're just about you. This is from George C. Marshall. He says, as soon as an ulterior purpose or motive creeps in, then the trouble starts, and it will gather momentum like a snowball. Here's another thing. The leader who is willing to look beyond his or own personal benefit and instead towards the long-term interests of the organization is the one that is going to best serve the organization. So the person that's looking longer term, not just thinking about short term, my own interests promoted, and who cares about the company. That's some thoughts from that chapter on selflessness. What can I challenge you with this week? How can you become more selfless? It's like a biblical principle, is that you're given responsibilities over a little, and you do well at those. Then you're given a responsibility over a little more, and you do well at those. Then you're given a responsibility over much to be able to do well at those because of your track record and what you've proven so far. So I would encourage you, related to selflessness, think long and hard about that. Don't always be interested in self-promotion, or I'm not going to do anything unless it's extra money. You don't want to take on a whole ton of extra responsibilities for 5 years without any extra money to do the work of 2 people. Just look towards a short-term kind of situations of what you might be able to take some extra responsibilities on. You're looking out for the interests of the company, and then you're talking with superiors related to what are the things that I can do to better show my commitment to the company and how become more of an asset to this company. Leaders and bosses are not going to have any problems with those kind of questions. It shows that person trying to take initiative. They show that they're trying to be balanced with self-promotion, yet also looking out for the interests of the company. It shows you're taking initiative to be eager and ambitious and try to move up. but not at the expense of the company. When it's at the expense of the company, it's a character flaw, just like in that story for General Drum. That is going to, he's ultimately, when push comes to shove, we're only looking out for ourselves. And really, I think it gets to trust then. I challenge you this week, look and see, think long and hard about how you can be more of a selfless leader, not just thinking of yourself, thinking of others, making sure that others that do a good job around you are recognized for that they don't go unnoticed, and that builds a better team environment, that builds a better company culture. And so you're looking out for people around you, and that's less selfish than just being thought of. You're only thinking of yourself. And you're more of a team player. You're more of an asset to the company when you're fostering a great work environment, instead of kind of being fake, because everybody knows you don't care about anything except you. And therefore people don't, you start to isolate yourself from people, and people trust you less. So there's some thoughts for you. Hopefully that's helpful. Guys, we need to continue improving together. Thanks for watching. This Life Coach Rich, and we'll see you next time.